let's take a look underneath the Jeep Gladiator Mojave. Well, good morning, everybody. How are you today? Pretty good here, and we're going to take a look underneath the Jeep Gladiator Mojave. Randall, right there, has come over again for another little mod we did. Previous video, the side steps put on there. Check that out if you're interested in these. They are awesome. But anyway, we thought it'd be kind of neat to put the Gladiator up on the lift, since we already have it up anyway, and take a look at maybe some of the differences that we have with the Jeep Gladiator Mojave as compared to the Jeep Gladiator Sport S. So we're gonna take a look. You guys can see it is obviously up on the lift right now. We've got Randall over here. He is the Jeep Gladiator Mojave expert. So we're just gonna start, I don't know, just kind of taking a little look. Let me kind of pan under here for you guys. Get my stuff out of the way. There you go. There's a shot front to back. Now, the first thing that pops out to me, and I am not a Jeep Gladiator Mojave expert, is the suspension, particularly the Fox shocks over here. You can see they're for sure more beefy than what I've got on my Sport, and they have a reservoir. Now, for those of you who don't know what a reservoir is for, I'm going to refer to Randall and hope that he does.
Okay, the reservoir is just what it says. It holds more fluid. As the shock is used, fluid moves. Some of it goes to the reservoir, some of it doesn't. The reservoir lets it have more so it doesn't overheat. If you get your shocks really, if they're doing a lot of bouncing, that fluid will overheat. Once it gets hot, it doesn't shock as well. It's basically like not having shocks at all. Once it cools off, life is good again. But while you're out running, the shocks can kind of go away, which then plays havoc with tires and everything else. Having a reservoir means you've just got a lot more cooling. These are 2.5-inch diameter shocks. Most factory are about 1.5 inches. Some of the heavier duty ones will be 2-inch shocks. These are 2.5-inch, so they're fairly heavy duty.
And that's exactly what I would have said.
Good enough.
Now, if you look under here, as compared to mine, Randall's truck is just filthy dirty. He must be off-roading. I don't know.
Driving in the rain.
Driving in the rain, all right. Okay, we're gonna move up here to the front. I'm not sure, it looks, we have Fox shocks in the front as well.
They hide the reservoir on this. It attaches with a hose.
Let me
Just a
squeeze
second.
in
I can see
here.
it from the top, but finding it from the bottom is going to be special. It's, where's the shot?
Oh, it's up in front. I can see the line running to it. I thought.
Here it is.
You see, oh, well, wait a minute. Let me get back under here.
This is it right here.
Ah.
There's the reservoirs. They hide them behind this 1/8-inch aluminum rock pan.
There you go.
On shield.
Get you up in there.
But
Let's
they get them out of the way.
take a
There's
look
not room
from
to
the
put them
side.
inside the coil springs. Like on the back, the reservoirs are attached to the shock. That won't work with the front.
See, there you go. I did not know that myself, but you can see the line running from the shock over here to the reservoir, which is located right there. I did not know that myself, so I've learned something today. What about the coils? Are they any more beefy on this truck?
They're lighter.
They're lighter.
This has a little bit less gross vehicle weight and a little less cargo capacity than yours does. They will give a little more. The shock makes up for it. But that's for when you're bouncing. That's why it has a softer ride. It has lighter springs. Slightly. Not much, but it knocks about 800 pounds off the overall gross vehicle weight.
Yeah, and I did notice that myself when we drove it around after doing the sound deadening. One of the things that occurred to me was it was a little bit softer or more cushiony ride. Not a lot, but just a little bit as compared to my Sport S. Okay.
Okay, now, and this is not unique to the Gladiator, but if you haven't noticed it before, it's interesting. Here's the manifold coming off the passenger side. This is coming off the driver's side. You notice that curlicue in it?
Yeah.
Okay. What that does is it equalizes this cross piece link. Okay, it gets so that these exhaust pieces are the same length when they tie in together back here. That gives you, it makes the exhaust more efficient.
Yep, makes sense.
Used to, you could gain a lot back in the 60s, 70s, 80s by putting headers on and think, well, these kind of already equalize everything. But that, and this is kind of a Gladiator trick with this thing, but I mean, it's pretty unique when you look at it. You're going, that took a lot of bending.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
So,
wow.
I don't know if it has, it's supposed to be reinforced, but I know yours has this brace, this brace. I assume you've got these rock plates,
Yep.
skid plates under here. But I think it's kind of welded to the top of the frame. They put the frame back here has a heavier duty frame than what's on this, all the other Gladiators. In theory, if this one catches a little air, you're not as likely to bend the frame like they were doing with the early Raptors.
Gotcha.
The practice is if you can avoid grabbing air, that's a lot better.
Yep. Now I have a question for you.
Yeah.
And if you can't answer this, then I'm going to cut it out of the video.
Okay.
What are these for?
They hold this on. You can see there's a bolt going from this to this, and it's that's some kind of armor for the back end of that torsion bar.
Really? So that's their only function, is to hold that part on?
Well, they come through like this. They can snake it through, run a screw through. When they tighten it up, it pulls it tight against this, but it keeps this piece from rattling.
I'll be darned. Somebody else was asking me about that recently. They noticed when I first got mine, and we could not figure out what that was for. Because in looking at it, it looks like I should put my fingers through there and pull it off.
And the reason you can't is
because
if
of the
you
bolt.
take this bolt out, you can fish it back out, but it's going to bend around and catch this.
I'll be darned. Well, there you go. See, I told you he was the expert.
No, I made that up as I went along. No, that's what it's got to be. I have not taken this out, but you can feel it in there, and that's where it goes.
I'll be darned. Huh. Pretty cool. All right. Anything else under here that would differentiate this from the regular or the Sport S, I guess, or the regular
I've never
Gladiator?
seen the underside of a Sport S, so
Yeah,
your guess
true.
is as good as mine.
Okay.
But I'm going to go with probably not a whole lot. The motor, the tranny are the same. Different shocks, different springs. But when you say different, figure $1,500 to $2,000 difference in parts.
For the suspension
for
or the...
suspension.
Okay.
Okay, it's not a... Is it worth it? Yeah, but they still do cost more just because of what they are.
Right, right.
Fox likes their technology and they charge for it.
One other thing I want to point out while I'm under here, I had mentioned before in looking at the drive shafts, how much balance or balancing weights they have on, and you can see Randall's is the same. We've got weights here, we've got weights here, here. I'm not sure. Yeah, there's some on the other side. Much more than what they put on the Tacoma. The big argument there is that the Tacoma's drive shafts are more precision manufactured and don't require as many weights to get them balanced. I don't know if that's true or not, but you can certainly see, as the same as mine, there are lots of balance weights.
But the other thing to keep in mind, and I haven't really paid attention to the Tacoma. Look at how many different pieces there are. Where that accordion is right above your head,
Yep.
that's a joint.
Yep.
So you need to balance the back half and the front half.
Yep.
Okay. There's another joint going through that bracket. There's a joint on this side. Again, that's another piece that has to be balanced. So everything has to get balanced out.
All the way
for that to
down.
work.
Yep. Makes sense.
The front, there's two on this front piece up here, but then you've got a joint here that's going to flex, so you've got weights back here also.
Oh yeah, I can see right up in there.
Okay, you've got, that's a label, but that's a joint.
Yep.
So, but anytime you see this accordion, that's a joint.
Yep.
So you got to balance both sides of the joint, or they don't play well together.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that's that's just a quick look at the underbelly of the Jeep Gladiator Mojave. I'll be curious once I get mine up here again just to take another look, but that'll give you an idea of at least what you're looking at and some of the differences of the Jeep Gladiator Mojave underneath. If you know of anything else that's glaring that I didn't mention, please leave a comment and let me know. Also, real quick, if you're interested, check out my other channel. It is Rob Motive, all about my 2020 Toyota Tacoma. Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.